the sciences that are being kept illegally secret would fix most of the world's pressing problems.
Way of Will John.
A third or half of our national debt can be attributed to illegal embezzlement of funds from the U.S. taxpayer. Now, we have to think about how clever these sort of corrupt enterprises are. We're not dealing with the buffoonery of the Sicilian mob. You're dealing with people who are very sophisticated and embedded across various agencies. Catherine Austin Fitts, who is the Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development during the first Bush administration, uncovered huge amounts of money being embezzled out of HUD going into illegal black operations. So it's not just the Department of Defense and the CIA budget. It's across many agencies. I think that, there is a whole section of the archive on the black budget. Now, let me be clear about this. I'm not talking about the legal black budget. There's a legal black budget, and that is known by the top, they call them the Gang of Eight in Congress. Your chair, co-chairs of Senate Intelligence, Armed Services, House Intelligence, Armed Services, and the president. But there's an illegal or deep black budget, and that's what we're talking about, that they have no idea. But let me give you, we have the testimony of someone, I think her name's Denise McKenzie, in the Disclosure Project. So what she said, she worked for a big contractor for the government known as SAIC, Science Applications International Corporation. And she was hired, and it was in a compartmented operation, and she realized what it was. It was an office with a bunch of files, and it was like a mafia storefront, a pizza parlor, where the money comes in the front door, and then most of it goes out the back door into illegal activities in that corporation. And she's on the record talking about this. And they would gin up. There would be these huge multi-$100 million contracts with the government to work on something. 10% of it would go to the declared, or sometimes none of it, to what the Congress authorized. The rest of it, if not all of it, was going out the back door working on this issue, on deep black illegal projects. So it's very creative. And of course, what she said, they would gin up reports, the mandatory reports, to go back to Congress, right? Or to the oversight committees. And the members of Congress would look at it. The government's so huge. They go, oh, okay. It just sort of gets rubber stamped. And no one was blowing the whistle on this. And so imagine that going on since the 40s and 50s to now. And so just multiply that. And it's the same thing. The B-2 stealth bomber, they claim, we need $2 billion to make one of those planes. There's no plane on the planet that actually costs $2 billion once you've designed it to manufacture it. Most of that money goes through the back door into the aerospace engineering that deals with like Lockheed Skunk Works and the Northrop Grumman or Raytheon, where they're making, big surprise here to the public, I'd say 80% of the UFOs people see are ours. They're ours, not extraterrestrial. Now, there are ones that are interstellar, but I say that many, many people are deceived when they see one, and they think because it's moving in a weird way that it's got to be an extraterrestrial vehicle, when in reality it came out of the Lockheed Skunk Works, or my uncle worked for Northrop Grumman, designing the lunar module, put the first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong. And people don't realize. Now, when you deal with members of Congress or people at the White House, they're so distracted by a million different pressing issues. This stuff just goes right under their radar unless someone brings it to their attention, which is what the Disclosure Project and I've been trying to do. But it's a very, very heavy lift. It's very difficult because you go from people thinking all of this is mythology to trying to get them to realize it's the most critical national security problem we've ever faced. And technologically, the sciences that are being kept illegally secret would fix most of the world's pressing problems, whether it be, climate change or global poverty or energy independence or what have you. The science and technology behind how those things move, which we have figured out at my uncle's company, Northrop Grumman, and other places, would immediately solve these problems.